clearly a fucking catch-up episode, decisions. We went completely off outline, but I do still have this, and I wanted to play it because in the realm that we both have boyfriends, I thought that this was an interesting conversation. So
Beyonce's not Jay-Z's dream girl, but Beyonce fits the image of who
she goes on to say that she does not think Beyonce is Jay-Z's dream girl, but instead he recognizes that she is a dream girl for the majority of the population. And because of that, she is a suitable partner to have for someone of his level of stature in the music industry. Okay, we're not going to talk about Beyonce and Jay-Z. This is a Beyonce stan page, but we can learn a lot from the message in this video. If you are a woman who is beautiful, smart, well put together, charismatic, knows how to carry herself,
So I haven't used the R word in a long time, but to imply that Beyonce is not Jay-Z's type from I really don't want to say this, but I gotta say it. That white bitch was not in shape that said that shit. And you talking about Beyonce? Beyonce? Bitch, you look like Luther Vandross. That's what I was thinking of. You really had the audacity to get on the internet and say one of the most beautiful women in the world. And mind you, if you Google the most beautiful woman in the world, I think Jennifer Aniston pops up, which is a gag, bitch. Beyonce isn't Jay-Z's type because she's that big. This is what she represents. I could understand that if Beyonce had no looks, no body, nothing else. What? No talent. That bitch is godly.
I want to ask you about what was said in the video, though, not Beyonce, because she literally said,
"That's all.
We're not going to make this about Beyonce." I want to know your thoughts on men picking women based on how society views them.
Women do it too.
No, I know. So I wanted to know your thoughts on that because I do actually think that this is why, and this is going to be a hot take, I believe this is why a lot of married men cheat on their wives. I think that they get with women, especially rich, successful, powerful men. I do feel like those men get with women who tick off the boxes, but not who make them happy. I think this is why they cheat with the fun whores, the fun girls, the bitches that maybe people deem are not wifey material, because those are actually the women they would like to see themselves with. However, because they're so pressed on how society views them and how they view whoever is standing next to them, they go for the safe woman. They go for the woman that inevitably they end up maybe resenting a bit, and it leads them to step out. So I do feel like this is true. I feel like this is a reason why.
Here's my take on that. I think that the fun girl theory goes two ways. Issue with fun girl. I have a lot of hot homegirls, a lot of IG baddie bitches. A lot of them lack a lot of depth that is required beyond the night when you're just sitting at home alone. A lot of my friends that haven't really had quote unquote real jobs or a certain educational background don't really have a lot more to offer and have had issues with men in relationships because they feel that energy too. Niggas don't want to fucking turn up and smoke hookah all the time. So what happens when all of that's gone? What happens when the vacation life stops? Much like a long distance relationship, spending time at home just like you and your boyfriend did is really important. Not always going on vacation, but being in each other's homes, shit like that. That's something that people always recommend. I really do think when you just have the fun girl and you're always out, you really don't know what that day-to-day life is like. How do these women motivate you? Are they even motivating themselves? So I don't think it's that men are choosing partners that society thinks is better. I think they're just not choosing well-rounded women. We can't sit here and think one's boring and the other one's fun. I know a bad bitch that's fun and can turn up that works at the fucking desk. They listening. But it's not always looking like that. So I think people, women too, choose people that are good on paper. But I think to say that men aren't choosing the fun girl actually is wrong. I think nowadays, beauty is more what we're seeing online. Like, you never really hear men gassing about how their girl does XYZ or how they're proud of them online. You just see the photos of them. Like, when we see rich and wealthy men, they're just with beautiful women. That's why Beyonce is such an anomaly.
Except NFL players, mid-whites.
Do they?
They don't be with no lit bitches.
Because Jalen Hurts bitch look good.
Well, no, I'm talking about the majority of NFL players. We talked about this on Patreon. Ain't talking about Jalen Hurts. He's an anomaly, and that's why everybody wanted the Eagles to win, because he's actually a black quarterback with a black woman. So love that for him.
Chicken fried
But
steak.
the majority,
That was a great clip.
and just don't know. I do think that the woman that society sees, though, for me, society doesn't have a good perception of the fun girl. Doesn't have a good perception of a woman who enjoys a good night out. Doesn't have a good perception of a woman who wants to stand on, like,
You know
could
what
wanna-
that girl
you
is
could- you could
today?
wanna
It's
stand-
the bitch that go on solo vacations and trips with her homegirl.
you could want to stand on couches and then go home and read a book. There's duality there.
I
promise
really
you.
do think, though, that girl today in 2025, in the last 5 years, even since COVID, I see a lot of girls moving around. That is that corporate girly or maybe small business independent girly that is out with her friends, turning the fuck up on vacation and come home and get to business. That is what a fun girl is to me today. I believe I'm that girl. Bitch, I got shit to do. But if I'm on my Instagram story, I'm not the fucking vlogger who's showing you about all the contracts I got to do. I'm going to probably show you the club. So I think sometimes, from what I feel like I'm seeing, I am seeing men with more of the fun girl or beautiful girl that doesn't have much else, you know? I just watched Just Right on the plane. Do you remember that movie with Queen Latifah?
And Common, right?
And Paula Patton. And so her friend or her god sister in the movie didn't do anything, but she was gorgeous. And Queen Latifah worked in medical. And it's like, I feel like that's the shit we see. We see women get looked over that have great jobs or that quote unquote normal girls for the fun girl. I feel the opposite of what that girl said.
Interesting.
I
Okay.
really do.
Okay.
I just seldom am meeting the Jay-Z's of the world. And no, I'm not talking about a Jay-Z, but rich men, famous men that are with dope women that got their own shit going. I really feel like their bitches be bad and boring. Not even bad and bougie. Because I know a bougie bitch that can buy her own shit.
That's why I think, yeah, maybe, I mean, and we definitely run in different worlds, different circles. A lot of the married
We
men,
run in the same circles
but
too.
a lot of the married men I know, different experience. I feel like a lot of the married men that I know that I'm friends with, their wives are safe. They're at home with the kids. And when they're outside, they're with the fun girls that they would
I
never
think
consider
dudes
being with.
that I've seen being at home with their wives, no matter what circle, the ones that we know men in or not, those wives have probably been in longer term relationships, or maybe they have older kids. My younger friends that are married, and by younger I mean under 40, I've seen them with these types of girls or in relationships. My friends that kind of have wives at home have older kids. Maybe their wives ain't trying to be out with them at every event, like, which is understandable. Because, like, yeah, sure, it's fun the first few years, but we got to all be honest with ourselves. Like, if you have to keep up with your man that needs to keep up with appearances, like, that's not sustainable either.
Okay.
If you are, let's just say, in legal, your man is in the sports industry and always got to be out, you're not about to chase behind this nigga every fucking event.
No, you can't.
You got your own shit going. Like, I'm not running behind a nigga. I got too much to do. So if my man is at every conference and networking and doing shit, is it going to make it look like, you know, like I'm not doing enough or I'm not fun or I'm not out there? Like, I think just having women around in the club really doesn't mean anything. I think women flock to money and status. And I don't think a girl being next to you or around really shows any value.
I would love to know